Hello, great day. This is Samuel Amatiama, and we're back again with another session of Key 77, and we're going to talk about another interesting topic. This one is going to be fun. So please, if you are there with your spouse or even somebody you're engaged to or somebody you're in a relationship with, bring them along. Let's listen to it. It's going to be amazing. By the way, the book is still out. You can get on Amazon and type in 77 questions to ask before you say yes, or just click on the website right below or above, and then you can have access to buy a copy from there. Likewise, subscribe to the channel, and please like the videos. The more likes you get, the more Facebook algorithm and YouTube are able to spread the news of what we are talking about, okay? And then comment, anything you want us to talk about, let us know. So, somebody asked a question earlier in one of our videos about how to make or take decisions as a couple. Yeah. And we are going to talk about it. And as usual, I have here my wife Rebecca and my friend Kafri to talk about this topic. So, Rebecca, from your point of view, what do you think couples should do or people in a relationship should do before taking a decision?
I think they need to share their opinions about the decision that they're about to take. So, for instance, if it's purchasing a house, they need to talk through the process. Do we have enough money? Are we going to put down a down payment? Which location do we want to, live at? Talk about the nitty-gritties of everything. When do we want to make the purchase? Who will be responsible for which bill? Yep. Very, very important.
You see, so like I like where you're coming from, because you see, you are really talking like somebody from the Western world, which is great because we're in the Western world. Mm-hmm. But if you look at it from other angles, whereby possibly you are in a setting whereby one person is the one still, let's say, making all the income, how do you still take decisions?
You still need to talk to your wife, your partner, your spouse. Hey, we're about to take this major decision.
So the question now becomes, what is major to you?
It depends on the couple. Because if they have money, maybe buying a house is not major.
Exactly.
Maybe starting a business is major. Because that will require more money than purchasing a house. So, but the important thing is we taking the decision together. Be it small or be it big. Let your wife know, let your spouse know what you're about to do. Get her input. Make sure she's on board with you. She may have reasons why it shouldn't be right now. That may be legit, and make sure there's agreement, because if one party is not in agreement, that's where disagreements are. And I said I didn't want it, and I said I didn't want it. Later on down the line, and you want to avoid that.
So Kafri, let me ask you this question. So what if at the end of talking about it and there's no agreement? What do you do?
Well, that's why we need to wait on it. One, as if you're whatever religion you belong to, that's why you pray on it. There's always a higher power we all pray to. So I
like that you brought religion in there. So
yes.
Based on your religious beliefs, I know you're Christian.
Yes.
So what does the Bible say about marriage and leadership? Who's in charge?
In charge, one, naturally, a man is in charge, a man is a leader. Even during decision making, it's the man who navigates the decision making.
Does it really work in this Western world we are in?
It does, and it should.
Okay, should is a word.
It does and it should, because number one, I know a lot of career women now, like now, the whole world is talking about women being career, women not being allowed to come into the limelight, men trying to steal the women's shine. But then, naturally, that's how God made it. No matter what kind of religion, you can look and you can also check, research, a man is naturally the leader. But then, being a leader, it's like the body parts. Without the neck, the head cannot work. Women, we need to understand who we are. We are very powerful. So in terms of decision making, in as much as the man is the leader, and the man of the house, you navigate the decision making. You always have a plan. and we plan to decide. You don't decide to plan. You
That's a good point. I think we should, yes, you can even add
because
that to
if you have a
the
plan,
course.
you always come back to the plan. Even as a married couple, at the beginning of every year, we plan something. And in December, for me and my spouse, we plan a year and we revisit it every 3 months. So every revisit it. You won't believe it, but I bought a notice board and placed it in my bedroom. So I put the quarterly goals, and then the quarterly goals becomes the monthly goals, and in a month we have the weekly goals. So we revisit it all the time. So with the plan helps us to decide. And we both navigate the decision, because when we sit down to plan for the year, we both bring ideas. You have something you want to do, he has something he wants to do. We both.
Yeah.
So I like what you were saying. I mean, that's a good point you just made. I mean, there still has to be a discussion about it. But on the other hand, so let's say it's a time-sensitive decision we got to make.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the final decision maker? From your point of view, who do you think is going to be the final decision maker?
Both of us.
Okay. What if we don't come to an agreement, Becky? Who will be the one to take the final? If there's no agreement, because we are both on loggerheads, who should take the final decision?
I think in the past what we've been doing is that we discuss, we go back and forth, we discuss, we go back and forth, and then I say, well, this is what I feel, I've got my points out, but I'll leave you after we pray to make the final decision. That's how we've handled it in the past.
Let me even give you a better example, okay? So let's take it that Kafui, you're making $300,000 a year. Your spouse is making $75,000 a year. And he wants to buy a house that you are not in favor of. He's brought his nice points that you always say the word deceive. He's trying to coerce you into getting a particular house, even though most of the money is going to come from you. And he's very bent on getting that house because he claims that's going to make him happy. Based on what you said earlier, on the decision taken based on your principles of religion, what are you going to do?
Well, on my principles of religion, that buying a house is a major decision. It's like having a baby. Where we're from, buying a house is not a big thing because we build houses where we're from. But where we are right now, we buy houses. And you all know what goes into buying a house. You don't pay mortgages in 5 years. You pay mortgages in years, 30 years. And you're still going to be together in 30 years. Are you still going to have the same $300,000 pay job in 30 years? So are your kids going to be toddlers, still toddlers in 30 years? It's a lifelong decision. So it's not a decision that you just wake up and make, or you just decide, okay, I'm done, I'm going to make it myself. So there's no hard and fast rule about it, who becomes the final decision maker. We both have to see eye to eye. Because one, in as much as I'm the woman, like the Ashanti say, when a woman buys the gun, it's the man that fires it. Yes, I make the money. And for me, when I make my money and I give my husband my part of the contribution at the end of the month, I usually don't go back to check up on him what he does with the money, because one, I trust you.
I like that. That's a good point.
To do exactly what we have planned, but just don't make me find out you do not do what we plan.
So the question is this, Becky, what is your stance on what she just said?
About the fact that is it money part or
Yes, so you're making the
decision
money,
part?
you're making $3,000 and
I think it depends on
No,
the
at
couple
the
and what they
part, I
have
said that we both finally have to
make the decision.
One person can just need to make a decision on buying a house. It does not work.
yeah, but if you are saying that you both have to make a decision and you guys are not on the same wavelength, you don't want to buy it, but he wants to buy it, whose decision are you going to go with finally? Because
Finally,
sometimes you got to go with one decision.
Yes, I think that when there's no decision made, do not decide do not agree because you think that's what's going to make her happy. Because you both pay the price for it. Because eventually, you're not going to like the house. And at that point, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
You
I understand where
understand?
you're coming from. I mean,
Or you're not going to like the house or the car. It happened to me before. If you buy a car, oh, it's beautiful, but you made the decision to buy that car. We had decided, okay, we're going to buy a Toyota Camry. You go to the car dealership and you come home with a RAV4. It's more money. So at that point, you tell me, you call me and say, oh, this is the reason why we're buying it. Okay, cool, we buy it. But maybe I'm like, no, let's not buy it. I don't think we should buy it. Or, okay, just buy it. And then you come home. Then we have to cough up the money. I'm like, I told you not to buy it because this is what, in as much as I reluctantly agree, that's the word I was looking for. Do not reluctantly agree. Because in the end, you are both going to make, you're both going to be you will argue about it. It's like marriage. If you decide that, well, I pity him, let me just marry him, you will pay a price.
you understand? Where do you think, Becky?
I understand where couple is coming from.